One of the things you've been talking a lot about is the evolution of work, whether it's writing software or being an organization with a manager or being a manager. We're migrating to a world where people are going to get more help from AI itself, not just as co-pilots, but agents, this agentic world. And we need to embrace that ourselves as a company. What do you see as the biggest challenges in persuading people who create code for a living to rely on code in these new ways?
Yeah, it's a fascinating thing, right? In fact, one of the first products that even for me helped, I'd say, solidify why this phase of AI and is going to be a real platform shift was GitHub Copilot, right?
Mm-hmm.
It started with this codex model in its early form with just code completions, right? I mean, software engineers are pretty skeptical people, like all engineers are, and no one thought that this thing would work and be any good, and it started working. And the interesting thing is, it went from being a joke to being standard issue in like months, right? And so, and now of course we've now gone all the way to even Copilot with agents and Copilots with autonomous agents. It's just unbelievable. Like, you can't think of software development without sort of AI being part of it. It's kind of like I say, I would never be employable at Microsoft, but for the red squiggly in Word, because I can't spell. And so it's kind of like becoming like that when it comes to software tools. But the interesting point you make, though, is I go back to our mission of empowering every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. I think that's what AI is about. I think that people have different notions of AI, but my fundamental view still is, even with all of the advances, not taking away from it, is it's still a tool. I fundamentally believe that we sometimes shortchange human ambition, human agency's ability to deal with unbelievable new technology that comes along once every 10 years, once every 100 years, once every millennium, whatever. Like, even the most magical technology has been used only to help humans achieve bigger and greater things. In that context, if you go even narrow, I think we conflate sometimes what is knowledge work with knowledge worker, right? So, for example, if somebody had said in early 1980s, everybody in the world is going to be typing, people would have thought it's crazy. Hey, we have a typist pool.
Right.
Why the heck does everybody need to type, right? But guess what? That's what PCs did, and phones have taken that to the next level, where if somebody came from Mars and saw what I'm doing, they would say, oh, what, this guy is a typist, right? Because that's all I do. And so to me, that is what is going to be the transformation with AI, which is we are going to go to the next level of abstraction, where what I want done, like when I use Researcher every day today, right? Preparing for meetings. You and I had this chance, right? Where it's magical. Yeah. It's like having the smartest analyst that is there with you 24/7, that you can ask the hardest questions and they come back having thought about it, quite frankly, not just an instant thing, with some great reports, which sometimes will have some mistakes, which will give you better insight. That ability to sort of work with your AI agents to be more prepared, have more sense of accomplishment and more agency in your job, that's the future of knowledge work. In fact, I kind of described to, Bill and I talk a lot about this, which is, one of my favorite tools is Excel, right? When I first had the ability to say, God, I can think of numbers in rows and columns, it was a mind-blowing, way to change things. And that's the way I think it's like when PowerPoint, Word, Excel all became standard tools